Well, with Robon and being that time of the month, being the end of the month, it's time I do another arc thoughts. Now, last time I did this, the East Blue Saga ended with Logtown, the town of beginnings and endings. And now, we go into the Grand Line South, via the Reverse Mountain arc. This is actually an arc that really is not a great anime adaptation. Because here's the thing. In the manga, it's only 5 chapters and really only 2 episodes. But combined with filler, not to mention that when 4Kids first dubbed this arc, they cut this arc out almost entirely. You know, this arc has a lot of problems. But what the arc really is actually pretty good, actually. Short, sweet, again, only 5 chapters, but it actually tells you a lot. For starters, for maybe 5 pages, the Straw Hats are actually in a place called the Calm Belt. Now, what is the Calm Belt? It's basically an area of water where there's no currents, no waves, nothing. A ship would be unable to sail through it, essentially. It's also a breeding ground for the monsters of the series known as Sea Kings. So the Calm Belt's actually a very dangerous place. You don't want to go there. Let's see what else. Another thing about this arc that's interesting is the Straw Hats get to the Red Line, which is the one massive continent that goes around the entire world of One Piece. Which makes sense because Reverse Mountain is built into the Red Line. But it gives you a lot of perspective later on when they reach the other side of the Red Line, you know, several arcs later. Actually, it's going to be well over a year from now when I talk about that arc. But we'll get to that when we get to that. I don't know what people were expecting when they first got over, but when the Straw Hats first get to the end of Reverse Mountain, they see a giant whale. Now, this is interesting because up until at this point, the Grand Line was hyped up to be like the most dangerous place anywhere, right? And now you see a whale. But the whale actually has a relatively tragic backstory, which, I mean, it's a sad story involving an animal. It's going to force some tears on you at some point, right? And now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure, like, the people behind the One Piece anime, and maybe even Oda himself at some point, saw that one episode of Futurama, Bark to the Future, you know, with Seymour Fry's dog waiting for him. Yeah, it's that level of sad. Although it doesn't have that sad song that plays at the end of it, but that's neither here nor there though. And that was actually one part that the 4Kids dub cut out. Another thing 4Kids cut out was Crocus, who hands down is one of the funniest characters in the series. He is. Now, don't misunderstand me. He may look like an old guy, but he's actually very scary and very powerful. Like, in his introduction, he actually slayed a Sea King. That's how powerful he is, right? But literally one of the funniest things ever, and this is actually something the anime did right, is this one joke that happens. Basically, you know, Crocus acts, you know, pretty tough. And then Usopp points a full-blown cannon right at him. Like, a cannon, right? And then Crocus like, trust me, you don't want to do that. Someone is going to die. And then Sanji's like, really? Who? Because he's thinking this is a challenge, right? And then Crocus says, me. That got me. That really got me. But outside of the fact that they cut out that funny scene, Crocus actually tells them a little bit about how the world works, specifically how to get to Laugh Tale, using what's called a, I forget what it's called? A log pose. Why did I forget what it was called for a second? So, again, this really isn't what you would consider a great arc for the anime, but the actual arc in question is fantastic. If you would like to read them on. Again, only 5 chapters. You can look up what 2 episodes of the anime they are because, they put filler in there. Actually, I should mention, that part within the Calm Belt that also took place in the filler arc, don't know why they put... Well, I know why, because, Toei has to make more episodes in order to make money, but... Hey, it is what it is. Oh. Gosh, I'm still tired from earlier. Other than that, we are... And we also meet the first 2 people who work for Baroque Works, which, in a way, effectively begins the Alabasta saga. But, again, actually, I shouldn't act like it's nothing. It actually is important because, the Alabasta arc, when we get to it in November, is going to be something pretty big. But this is the arc where it starts building up to it. But I'll get to that when, I get to it. Again, sorry if I'm feeling tired doing this. I literally did this after my morning video, and normally I wait to do this at night, but I'd rather just get it done before I forget. Because, again, I always do this at the end of every month, and today is July 31st at the recording of this. So, I just want to make sure I, got all my ducks in a row. If there really is one other thing I can say about the arc, is that it's short, it's sweet, has a lot of, knowledge, but it's still a lot of fun. It's, again, a really short read. In fact, it's one of the shortest arcs in the series. And you learn a lot about the world of One Piece as a whole. It's actually pretty useful. But with that said, with that being done next month in August, and hopefully it won't be this particularly late, but in August I'll talk about the Whiskey Peak arc, which, if you're a Zoro fan, this is actually one of his highlight arcs. We'll get to that when we get to that. Like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me, social media platforms, if you're younger. How long is this video for all you guys watching today? Hope you have a wonderful, I hope you're having a wonderful Friday if you're watching this later. And remember, if you guys don't want to talk, Travis, we need to learn English, always back. Take care, make your choices, and actually, you know what? Why not? My low was not getting this done last night. My high was getting it done now, and my act of kindness was telling you guys that I am going to be a little bit better about getting this done in August. Take care.